Oh, it was a great night last night, wasn't it? Wasn't it a great night last night? Not only did Tennessee beat Kansas in round one of Uncle Lou's Worst of the Worst college football playoff, streamed live here on YouTube last night at 10 o'clock, my Georgia Bulldogs also beat the Florida Gators in basketball. Looks like we own you guys in football and basketball. And baseball is right around the corner. We'll probably own you and dominate you in that too. But anyway, let's talk a little college hoops today. It's Uncle Lou here. Yep, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Yeah, thanks for watching. You know I really appreciate it. But yeah, if you missed that live stream last night, it was actually a pretty good game. And I saw all you guys' comments from yesterday saying just simulate the game. Don't play as either side. Don't play as Tennessee or Kansas. Some people said, well, Lou's going to be Kansas and put it on freshmen just so we can make Tennessee lose. So anyway, I decided to take y'all's advice. And I just simulated the game and talked along with it and interacted with you guys in the comments section instead of actually picking one of the teams and playing as one of the teams. So that's what I did. Simulated Tennessee versus Kansas, round one of the Uncle Lou Worst of the Worst college football playoff. And Tennessee won the game. It was actually a really good game, too. For those of you that watched it, you already know. But Kansas was up heading into the fourth quarter. Tennessee scored 21 unanswered points, 31 to 20. So it was a good game. Dormandy, the computer had Dormandy start for Tennessee. He got hurt towards the end of the third quarter. Guantanamo Bay came in and was pretty much unstoppable, leading the Vols to three unanswered touchdowns there in the fourth quarter to go ahead and get the win over the mighty Kansas Jayhawks. Yep, so Kansas lost, therefore advancing to the finals of the Uncle Lou Worst of the Worst college football playoff. Round two will be played, or the next game of round one, actually, will be played Thursday night, tomorrow night, live here on LouTube at 10 o'clock. That's Baylor and Oregon State. We'll do it the same way. I won't pick a team. I'll just simulate it, and we'll watch it and see how it goes. The loser of that game, of course, will play Kansas for the Worst of the Worst national championship. Anyway, college basketball. I've been real hard on Georgia basketball and Mark Fox lately, especially over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Georgia's just looked terrible the last few weeks. Lost 3-4 games in a row after starting off pretty good. And, you know, I've been all over the fire Mark Fox thing. I've been on that train for a couple of years now. But you got to give credit where credit was due. Pretty much a must-win situation for Georgia last night at home against Florida, and the Dogs pull out the win. Georgia honestly just looked like the better team. I don't know. It's hard to say, you know, Florida just played a bad game or Georgia just played really, really good or whatever. If you watch the game, it just looked like the better team won the game. Obviously, Georgia wanted the game more, and it showed. Georgia comes out, dominates, wins, I think 72-60, something like that. The game was back and forth a lot in the first half. Georgia eventually got a lead about midway through the second half, and was able to hold on to that lead and get a big win last night over Florida. Much as I hate Mark Fox, which I do hate him, and yes, I still think he should be fired, beating Florida in the regular season, to me, doesn't change my opinion of Mark Fox. I think he needs to be fired. He's been there 9 years, can't make the tournament, can't win a tournament game. I think enough is enough. But that was an impressive win last night for UG over the Gators. And now my Georgia Bulldogs own Florida in 2 of the 3 major sports, basketball and football. Baseball coming up right around the corner, like I mentioned at the start of this video. We'll probably own them in that too. Let's just be real, Gators. Georgia's just a better overall program than you right now. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. That's just the way it is. Georgia's better than you, and they're proving it on the field and on the court. On the hardwood. Yeah, we just beat you, and that's all there is to it. So what does this mean for Georgia basketball going forward? Well, I don't think it means a whole heck of a lot. Was it a good win? Yeah, it was our best win this year for sure. We've already got a loss to Kentucky. We don't play them again, so we can't make that one up. But we do have a couple of games, a couple of big games left, and I think Georgia needs to win more of these games than they lose. We play Florida again. We play Tennessee twice still. Once at home, once in Knoxville. In Knoxville, I think the last game of the season, which could end up being a huge game for Georgia's tournament chances. And we play Auburn, which is looks like they might be the cream of the crop in the SEC this year. They look really, really good. I think they're, what are they, 18-2, 19-2, 20-2, something like that. I mean, they look really, really good. As much as I hate Auburn, you got to give their basketball team credit. Big turnaround on the Plains in terms of Auburn basketball. They look really, really good. So we get a shot at them. So what's that? Auburn, Tennessee, Florida. Out of those 4 games, I feel like we got to at least go 2-2 in those 4 games. Plus, win the rest of the games that we should win in order to have any shot of making the NCAA tournament. It looks like probably 6, maybe 7 teams are going to make the NCAA tournament from the SEC this year. Right now, Georgia's sitting in 8th place. So we still got some work to do if Mark Fox wants to make the NCAA tournament. And like I said, as much as I hate that guy and think he needs to be fired, I'm all for winning games, regardless of what I think about the coach. You go back to 2015, I wanted Mark Richt gone, made plenty of videos about it, about halfway through that season after we lost to Alabama and then Tennessee. I still wanted us to beat Kentucky, Auburn, Georgia Tech. I'm not going to root for Georgia to lose just because I want a particular coach fired. That's never going to happen. So, yeah, I'm excited we won. We'll see if that propels Georgia throughout the second half of the season. If we can go on some sort of a run here, that would be great. Win 4, 5, 6 games in a row would really go a long way towards helping Georgia's chances in terms of making the NCAA tournament, which is the goal, okay? That is the goal. I know Georgia's not a basketball school. I get it, okay? We're not a basketball school. I'm not expecting to win national titles or make Final Fours or compete even for national titles. But we should be able to make the NCAA tournament once every 2 or 3 years and win an NCAA tournament game at least once per graduating class. So at least once every 3 or 4 years, Georgia should be winning an NCAA tournament game. Georgia's the 4th richest state in America in terms of high school basketball talent. I know we're going to lose a lot of the top of the top elite type guys out of Georgia to bigger name basketball programs, and that's fine. But Georgia should be winning an NCAA tournament basketball game once every 3 or 4 years. It's that damn simple. Live show today at 3 o'clock. I think I'm going to take some phone calls today. So if you guys have been around for a while, you know how that works. I'll post a phone number up on the screen, and you guys can tell me how you feel. Anything you want to say to Uncle Lou, anything you want to tell me about your team, anything you want to tell me about Georgia, whatever. The floor will be yours. I'll post the number up at some point during the show and we'll take some calls. I don't think I'm going to do phone calls for the whole show, but at some point during the show, I'll open it up for phone calls. So that's live today, 3 o'clock right here on YouTube, 3 Eastern. We'll run the show for about an hour or so like we did on Monday. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys at 3 Eastern on Uncle Lou Live. Have a great morning.